deal. Do you think this is something you're going to pursue heavily, Sam?
Yes.
Do you think you go for it? Do you think you'll get it done?
Yes, I think we will pursue this heavily. I think when the summer starts, regardless whether Newcastle make Champions League football or not, we will try. We'll try our best. I think literally winning the Premier League prize money and what we did in Champions League alone pays for like Isak and like 2 or 3 more players. So I think with Isak, it just makes sense. It just makes sense 100%. Like player, leaves Newcastle on high, won them the Carabao Cup. But there are bigger things to chase than winning a Carabao Cup, and if Liverpool do sign Isak, then we can compete for everything next season. And this is just the truth of the matter. Like even him alone would just elevate this team to a next level. I said this, in the whole after the Leicester game, like I think Arne Slot looks at some of these forwards and literally can't stand them. Like the way that, you just see his facial reactions and stuff when Nunes, Jota play. He's just so irritated just watching them play football, to be honest with you. I think Isak just is a player that wants to win the league, wants to compete in the Champions League season in, season out, sustainable success, something that we are trying to build as well towards. We will try, but this is going to be a very difficult one because we can try our best, but then maybe Newcastle just doesn't want to sell. Maybe Newcastle are taking the piss with a price tag. You just never know. The one thing that we can use to our advantage is the fact that Newcastle do like a couple of Liverpool players. Like they like Kwanzaa, they like Gomez, they like Elliott, blah, blah, blah. There are players that they're interested in signing if you would like, which I think this is something that we could obviously use in terms of negotiation, etc. But I think Isak is definitely one of, if not the best striker, in the world this season. I think we're gonna try for him. Whether we get him or not, it's a different debate. Like that's
what I don't understand in this saga, which is maybe someone can answer me, is that if Arsenal pulled out of the Isak race based on the reports because of the price tag of what Newcastle will demand with 150 million, how are Liverpool pursuing that deal? Will they pay 150 million for Alexander Isak? Because every time I'm hearing
money in a while.
Okay, because every time I'm hearing the Liverpool journalists or something, they are saying that Liverpool value the transfer by 100 to 120 million. But okay, if that is the case, why aren't Arsenal in for him if he is their main target? And if, by the way, I'm just telling this, if Liverpool are successful in getting Alexander Isak for 100 to 120, and Arsenal don't pursue that deal, they're just idiots. To be honest, they're just stupid at this point. Because that is based on what your manager said is your number one target, but you pulled out because of the money. Now the money has been lowered by a lot. So you should go again for him and try to compete with Liverpool for him, to be honest. I don't understand why suddenly it's shifting toward Liverpool, unless it is Isak's desire to join Liverpool instead of Arsenal, which is, I haven't seen that anywhere. I don't understand. But because if Liverpool get Isak, they renewed Mohamed Salah, they renewed Van Dijk, I think whatever striker Arsenal will get at this time, and because Liverpool are going to have the summer to get Gyökeres, they're going to get a DM because Arne Slot said they're going to have a busy summer. Now we're going into the season with Liverpool and Arsenal together. Like, I think at that time, Liverpool will be favorites and Arsenal will be chasing their tails again, right? And then we're going to have it, but we didn't get our main striker, which is Isak, and our direct rivals, Liverpool, for the title got him. I'm like, okay, literally, he was right there. Go and get him. But we couldn't pay the money, but Liverpool didn't pay the money. And I'm like, if this happens and at the end, Arsenal just say that, but they signed Isak, what should we do? And I'm just like, it's stupid, to be honest with you. I genuinely think Arsenal should be in it.
Arsenal have a very good alternative, though. The Arsenal have a very good alternative out there.
Gyökeres, you mean?
Yeah, Gyökeres is just, he's special. He's
very good?
As good. Look, he hasn't done it in the Premier League, and I think that holds some water. It does hold some water.
But if you hold some water, that holds the ocean.
No, it holds some.
Stop here and compare.
No. It holds some water because there are other players that come into the Premier League and do very good jobs straight away. There are some players that come in from outside the Premier League and they pick things up. He's played in England before, Victor Gyökeres, so I think that holds some water, as I say. But you look at Victor Gyökeres, and it's 72 goal contributions in 53 games in all competitions. It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal 57 games for club and country in 53. It's 57 goals in 53 games for club and country this season. He's an absolute machine. So Arsenal have an alternative, and I think the difference being that Arsenal need to strengthen in multiple areas. And I'm not saying Liverpool don't, but the fact you've kept Salah, the fact you've kept Van Dijk, I think that changes your spend for at least another year. Had you had to replace Salah and Van Dijk and Trent and needed a new striker, I don't know how plausible Isak would be. But for Arsenal, they need another wide player. They need a new midfielder. They need a new striker. They drop 150 million on the striker. How much is genuinely left for those other positions?
No, I think it's the other way around. I think Liverpool need way more than Arsenal in the summer.
I agree. Liverpool need more.
Like, I don't know how you got this idea, Terry. Liverpool need at least 3 forwards, right? At least 3 forwards. Plus Mohamed Salah. Because they don't have... Diaz is not trusted. Nunes is not trusted. Jota is not trusted. And Gakpo is just an okay player. Yeah, Arsenal already have Saka.
Well, but
like
then
by the way, in the midfield, can I just go back to the midfield? Let's go to the midfield.
Yeah.
Liverpool really at the current moment don't have a recognizable DM, and suppose like plays in the 8 and McAllister. Gravenberch should move to the 8, and they need the DM. Liverpool might not go next season. Gravenberch has been killed this season playing the DM every single minute. They need a DM. Liverpool need a left back. They need a right back.
Even according to Carragher, who's an FSG shill, we need 6 players. Left back, right back, centre back, midfield.
Okay. So let's say you're right. Let's agree on that. Then going for Isak may not be the right choice because that's going to eat 50% of your budget. You haven't got... I don't even think you haven't got a £300 million budget, have you?
No, but we might raise 200 million through sales.
Okay, so through
maybe. That's Tom Little, by the way. Tom Little reported
that. Let's just say after sales you can spend 300 million. Then maybe it's worthwhile. But then it's how much is everybody else going to cost? If you end up short at the beginning of the season, but you've got Isak, you might still be okay because between
I take my chances.
No, yeah, you're gonna take your chances, and then the following summer you fill the rest of those holes up. That's one way of going about it. There's another, which is when you look at Arsenal. If you get Gyökeres for 65 million, you get 50 odd million for Nico Williams. You get Zubimendi for 60 odd million. Maybe Arsenal fill more of their holes and are a better and more complete team next year. Both are strategies in the transfer market. Let's just put a lot of money into an absolute machine up front that scores even more goals and will make us win. The following summer, we add that extra piece here, that extra piece there as an example. And I get you. Like, for instance, I don't think you're going to buy a new right back. I think you're going to go with Bradley. I think you'll go for a new left back in Gyökeres as an example. But yeah, look, I think Liverpool, back to Liverpool, you've got a chance of getting Isak. My mind ain't changed on this. I know Newcastle fans will say, no way, no chance it's happening. I agree with them, but they're only looking at it from the perspective as will our club say yes? Your club will say yes if Isak pushes for the move, because historically speaking, clubs, well-run clubs, do not hold on to players that want to leave. So the way this works is if Liverpool legit turn his head and he says, I don't want to be here anymore, Newcastle will sanction that deal for the right money and if they can get the right replacement in. Why? Because that's what 99.9% of all clubs at the highest level do. If a player genuinely doesn't want to be there anymore, has their heads turned, you'll cash in. So I don't think it's impossible for Liverpool to get it done. It's a hard deal. It'd be a massive deal to get done and over the line. But I almost feel like Liverpool needs something of that level. And it doesn't necessarily need to be Isak. I think that you need an Isak, an Osimhen, a Gyökeres. I think you need to add something into your attacking line next year that not only adds more goals, more fear into rivals, but someone that you can see to pick up that mantle of goals when Salah does leave. You've basically got 2 years to replace what Mo Salah gives you in output, whether that's an individual or whether it's a combination of players. You've got that 2-year buffer now to find it. So, and you're better off starting sooner rather than later. So I think it's going to be an excellent piece of business if you get it done. It really is. A few comments that have come in here. DA, who's one of our members, says that Isak is injury prone whilst Gyökeres is perfect.
Here comes the coping. Here comes the coping mechanism. Whatever makes you sleep well at night. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. You might sleep better. Yes.
He
Keep doing
actually
that.
did
Yes.
keep copy pasting it. Yeah.
Bro, it is reality, bro.
Lynn here says, Isak, in my humble opinion, is that Salah is Liverpool's main man, and I don't think Isak will be as good at Liverpool because Newcastle's game is to play around Isak, so Isak is going to have to adapt.
Can I tell you why this is just absolutely 100% wrong? Because when Nunes first came in, Salah changed the entirety of his game to be a touchline winger and create for Darwin Nunes. Darwin Nunes just missed all the chances that Salah created for him. Now, all the chances that Isak, by the way, Isak and Nunes have similar pace. Like Isak is really quick as well. So all the passes that he plays in behind are now played to Alexander Isak. So yeah, enjoy, you guys. Enjoy.
Let's go to some more of these super chats here.
Guys, can I ask you all a question? Can I say I will give credit to Terry for one thing, and this is something that he's very consistent on this, and I respect him for it. Man United want Cunha. Okay, let's say Chelsea signed Cunha this summer. Terry's not gonna turn around and act like Cunha is not like wow for him.
Shit,
right?
no. Cunha shit.
Yeah,
no.
like Cunha is not shit all of a sudden. The thing that I just don't get with certain football fans, like your club is linked to Isak for the last 18 months. Now he's heavily linked to Liverpool all of a sudden. Oh, he's injury prone. Yeah, but when you wanted him last summer, he was even more injury prone because this season he's played more games than he's ever done. So why do you have this instant coping mechanism of just like directly as soon as the players wanted by a different club, oh shit, let me shit on him. I'm sorry, there's no world in which anyone can claim that Gyökeres is better than Isak. In no planet whatsoever, based on every single metric we have spoken about ever in history of this channel or in any channels. Guys, Isak this season is being looked at by Barcelona. We're talking about like the best clubs in the world want Isak. We're talking about a player that has done it in the English Premier League for Newcastle United. One of the key reasons why Newcastle, for the first time in 70 years, have seen some form of success. I can't just push that to the side like it means nothing. Because 18 months ago, if I claimed Gyökeres is better than Isak, you'd have laughed at me.
This is the thing with it as well, though, right? And this is where I think people have got to be kind of grown up. Is if I had the choice between Isak and Gyökeres, I'd go with Isak. But that doesn't mean if I couldn't get Isak and I ended up with Gyökeres, I'm still really, really happy. And
correct.
This is the thing. Arsenal not signing a scrub or a bad player. Isak may be better, but it's still marginal. Like Isak isn't country miles better than him, isn't light years better than him, in my personal opinion. The thing is that it's just the nature of the beast. You can't have everybody. I actually think Arsenal may end up doing better business overall than Liverpool, but that remains to be seen. But I wouldn't just start attacking Isak. That would be a crazy thing.